Benita Nair tells us are those who take their homes with them.
At Crystal Bridges Museum in Bentonville, Arkansas,
how high are the ceilings in this grand room?
So close to 18 foot.
They're putting the pieces of a giant puzzle together again. Scott Eccleston is the man in charge.
This is a home that if you grew up in Northwest Arkansas or the Midwest, this is the house that you would have built. And so it's a house for all.
This house for all was designed in 1954 by Frank Lloyd Wright. It used to sit 1,200 miles off in Millstone, New Jersey. It was owned by architects Sharon and Lawrence Tarantino. After years of watching floodwaters threaten their beloved 1,700 square foot home, they asked the museum to help save it.
Door, hardware.
Every detail was documented.
Save that, number that.
Then the home was methodically dismantled and packed into 2 shipping containers.
The next time that I saw this house, you want to talk about your heart beating, it's in millions of pieces. And a house that was so majestic and 3D was all one level, wrapped in plastic, ready to be put back together.
So you couldn't even tell what was what?
No, you couldn't. I mean, that moment, you're thinking, oh my gosh, what have I done? Can we do this?
Every year, an estimated 40,000 homeowners decide to do this. Move a home from one location to another. It usually costs between $15,000 and $45,000 to complete and takes anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. Though there are always exceptions.
When you started this, how long did you think it would take?
2 years.
And how long has it taken?
10.
It was 10 years.
You want to ring it?
I do.
Scott and Kelly Bradley bought their Westlake, Texas home on 130 acres of land back in 1977. It was designed by noted architect Charles Dilbeck for Dallas newspaper publisher Ted Dealey. Then, in 1998, the Bradleys sold the land, but wanted to keep their house.
One of the quirks is not really knowing exactly where the front door is when you arrive.
Preservation architect Nancy McCoy devised a plan to move it.
I really didn't think this was going to be a good candidate for a move.
Why not?
It's almost the length of a football field, so you immediately know it's not going to be moved in one big piece.
Neil McMillan, who calls himself the best home splitter in the country, agreed.
You got to put the right piece in at the right time.
He is a third-generation home mover.
And if it's done right and you put it back together, all you're missing is the sawdust of what the saw blade went through.
What's the hardest part about deciding where to divide it?
You want to do it where you do the least amount of damage. Closets is the best place because you can hide the sins.
McMillan says he used a saw blade to split the Bradley home into 7 parts. But before he started, every brick from 8 fireplaces and every stone from 8 porches was removed.
We actually know how much this living room weighs. It weighs 98,000 pounds without the stone on it.
Reconstructing and almost doubling the size of the home using the same techniques as the original architect is what took so much time and money.
The circles are where our daughters would get up and curl up and read their books. And they said
The Bradleys wound up spending $12 million to move their house just 2 miles. That was 7 years ago. This spring, they put it on the market, telling us they're now ready to downsize.
What do you hope the future of this house is?
Well, we hope it lives into eternity.
I hope someone buys it that will do what we've done. Love it, share it with the community.
That's exactly what motivates the folks at Crystal Bridges. Scott Eccleston says they're hoping to finish work by the end of the summer, with each piece fitting just the right way.
Throughout this process, how many times have you heard someone say, "Y'all are nuts, just build a house that looks like the original"?
We've had the conversation, how much easier would it have been just to take the plans and build it from scratch? But every board that goes in, every nail It's as if Frank Lloyd Wright was sitting in a chair at his drawing table telling you, this is why I did this, and that's how we built this house.
Knowing what you know now, would you have taken this project on again?
I would do this house 100 times over because it's a real honor.